So look, y'all, today we got a very, very, very interesting video for y'all today, bruh. You feel me? Now, somebody sent me this video to me on Instagram. Y'all know my Instagram, all that, all my social down here, bro. But somebody sent me this video. It was like, hey, bruh, you gotta check out Funny Mike. He been going crazy. Y'all seen Funny Mike at Streaming University. But y'all know Funny Mike, bruh. Feel me? Funny Mike been doing this thing for a long time, bro. He been holding this shit down for a long time. But a lot of y'all don't know Funny Mike. He used to be one of them ones, nigga. Like, you don't really want to, you know what I'm saying? He really come from that. You feel me? 22 Savage, all that type of shit. So I'm like, all right, boom. I know who Funny Mike is. I've been checking Funny Mike out for a little minute. You know what I'm saying? He been doing his thing, like I said, for a while now. So this video was called How Funny Mike Went From Killing People to a Comedian. I ain't know he called, I know Funny Mike, but I ain't know he was really popping niggas, though. I ain't know that. So look, we finna check out the video. We finna get straight to it. We finna check it out. We finna see what's going on. And yeah, we finna get straight to it. Now, any BS I see, I'm calling it out. Y'all know how I am. I'm getting on the nigga ass. I don't give a fuck. Feel me? What's good with y'all boys, man? It's your boy Prophets, for real. We finna check out the video. Let's get straight to it. Here we go.
From catching a body and facing a murder charge to becoming a family-friendly YouTuber stacking millions, Funny Mike's story is one of the wildest flips the internet's ever seen. Before the pranks, the challenges, and the family skits, he was MacArthur Johnson, a kid from Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
MacArthur Johnson. That's a hell of a name, MacArthur?
A city where you better keep that thing on you or you might end up a pack. But how does someone go from facing life in prison to building one of the biggest kids-friendly YouTube channels? And is the past really behind him, or is it still waiting to catch up? MacArthur Johnson, born October 8, 1996, grew up in the trenches of Baton Rouge. In his own words, growing up in Baton Rouge meant that
growing up in Baton Rouge, man, you don't do something that's not in the street-wise, you're gonna end up in jail or dead.
The hood shaped him, pushing him toward the trap life as a young hustler, just trying to make it out. Johnson had his fair share of run-ins with the law as a young bull. He caught some cases and spent time in juvie for throwing hands and other charges. He's been
I ain't gonna lie, Mike, big bro. This hot Cheeto hot top, this shit ass, bro. And your partner right here, I don't know what this nigga got. I don't know what y'all niggas was on, man. Y'all niggas was some young crash out niggas, huh? God damn. I'm talking about this hot top so ass and then his jagged jaw ass. I don't know what Buddy got going on. This look like trouble. This look like nothing but trouble right here, boy. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Bull. He caught some cases and spent time in juvie for throwing hands and other charges he's been reluctant to speak on. In his Vlad TV interview, he mentioned that he would always burn it out, meaning he'd beat those cases quick and never had to do a long bid.
Like, how much time do you think you spent in juvenile altogether?
Oh, juvenile? I ain't spent that long in juvenile. I had burned it out.
Like many young men looking for a way out of their circumstances, Johnson turned to music. Baton Rouge has a rich hip-hop history, with artists like Boosie being major influences on the youth there. In fact, Johnson has stated that Boosie was his biggest influence growing up, saying,
Nigga, is that a fucking cigarette, nigga?
On the youth there. In fact, Johnson has stated that
Bro, niggas is too young to be smoking cigs, bro. This nigga can't be no more than 25, gang. And you smoking a cancer stick, bro? I don't give a fuck how hard life get, my nigga. I don't give a fuck what I'm going through, how stressed I am. I'm never finna pick up a cigarette, light that motherfucker up, and I'm never doing that shit. You will never see a nigga like me smoking a square. I swear.
Boosie was his biggest influence growing up, saying he was listening to Boosie before Kevin Gates. Before finding success, Johnson went through a series of different personas and names, trying to find what would stick. He went by Lit Mac on the track, Lit Guno, Mighty Mike, and Girl He Funny at different points.
So what was the first name?
My first name was Lit Mac.
Lil Mac.
On the track. Lit Mac
Lit Mac on the track, look like.
Yeah, see, that was my first.
Pimp?
Shit, I slapped them hoes down, for real. Real talk. But yeah, that was one of my rap names.
Initially, he tried to make it as a rapper, but when that wasn't taking off, he pivoted to comedy on social media platforms like Vine and Instagram. His relatable comedy about family dynamics and childhood experiences started getting traction. Johnson explained that he started that after rapping wasn't taking off, seeing comedy as another potential path to success.
After rapping wasn't taking off for me, you know what I'm saying? I started then, tried to to see what can I, get out of it, you know what I'm saying? But then shit just started going up, you know what I'm saying?
So you get in the Instagram.
That's when I first seen him, when he was doing the Vines and shit.
You know, on the Instagram.
This hustle and willingness to adapt would eventually pay off, but not before a major controversy and legal trouble that nearly derailed everything. In 2016, when Atlanta rapper 21 Savage was gaining popularity, Johnson made a strategic move that would change his trajectory. During a freestyle, he dropped the line, "This ain't 21, this 22," and people caught on.
Damn, funny Mike up in pole on niggas, ain't he? Look at him. He up in that motherfucker.
Seeing the reaction, he decided to adopt the persona of 22 Savage, a clear parody of 21 Savage.
Yeah, it was just a freestyle with the woo.
How did the freestyle go?
I was like, this ain't 21, bitch, this 22, whip, skirt, woo. And then everybody just fucked with it.
Johnson released a song called Jumpin' as 22 Savage, which quickly gained traction.
Yeah, I
The
remember
audio
that shit.
alone was racking up thousands of plays within hours. And when he dropped the video, it exploded, reaching millions of views.
When you put out Jumpin', you put out his audio first.
Yeah, it did numbers like overnight. Like it was doing numbers like first hour it did 5,000. Like through the week, shit, it was like 50,000. So I'm knowing it's doing something. So that's why I was like, yeah, we got to do a visual to it, visual out, and it just popped off.
The 22nd Savage character wasn't just a name. Johnson adopted a similar look and flow to 21 Savage, stretching his words in a similar cadence. When asked if this was intentional, Johnson kept it a buck and admitted, "Yeah, that was done on purpose. Just trying to fuck with him. He was straight trolling."
Did you think that anything was really gonna pop off, or this was just another
Well, really, I didn't really think it was gonna be big as what it is, but I knew it was just gonna do plays and shit, but I didn't really think it was gonna be big. It was what it was.
But then you kind of look like 21 Savage a little bit.
Man, that's what they say.
The music industry and internet took notice. Blog posts started appearing about this 22 Savage character, and the controversy only fueled
bro,
Johnson's
22 Savage was that young nigga was something else, I ain't gonna lie.
growing
He
fame.
was something
Many
else.
compared him to other artists who had found success through controversial imitation, like Young Thug with his Barter 6, playing off Lil Wayne's Carter series. What started as a parody soon escalated into a real beef. 21 Savage responded during a performance saying,
"Ain't no 22, ain't no 23.
Yeah.
21 Savage dumbass fell right into the trap.
acknowledging
Got
the
him.
copycat without directly addressing him.
So he got on stage and said, "Ain't no 22, ain't no 23."
Oh yeah, I seen that. I saw that.
What'd you think?
Ain't no 21. It's 22.
Johnson took this as a challenge. In interviews, he claimed that if 21 Savage had just ignored me, eventually it would have just faded away. Instead, the
Yeah,
back and
bro, that's
forth
what I'm saying. Like 21 Savage dumbass fell right into the trap. Like, bro, if you got a nigga, if you already big, if you already way up here, and you got a nigga that's not on your level, trying to like scratch at you and claw at you, and you keep giving him the attention, you feeding him. You know what I'm saying? You helping him come up in a way. You feel me? 21 Savage fell right into that shit. No cap. Niggas be letting their egos get the best of them, bro.
intensified.
Because all you really had to do was just ignore you.
Right.
Eventually,
Just
it would have just
ignore
kind of
me,
faded away.
Everything would have faded away. But
Right.
he's got, he got.
But they
no
really
sense
both
of,
benefited off
The
of it.
situation escalated when Johnson challenged 21 Savage to a boxing match, saying if 21 won, he would change his name. Even 50 Cent got involved, contacting Johnson about putting the fight on the undercard of a Mayweather boxing event. According to Johnson, they were going to put up 100 bands each for the fight, but 21 Savage declined, saying, "I don't box, I got them choppers."
We talk about all this boxing, man. We walk around with choppers and shit, man. We ain't boxing no motherfucker.
But Funny Mike, aka 22 Savage, responded and said he must have thought they stopped making choppas when they made his, hinting that he with the shits and is ready to shoot as well.
Indeed.
21 Savage said that he don't box, he got them choppers.
Yeah.
How'd you feel when you heard that?
When he said that,
Yeah.
I said, "Oh man, he must thought they stopped making choppers when they made his shit." You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
shit,
man.
yeah. Nigga got serious when he said that. Look how fast the smile wiped off this nigga face when he did this shit. Watch.
Say, "Oh man, he must thought they stopped making choppers when they made his shit." You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
nigga ain't
Man,
bullshit.
they don't stop making choppers, dick. Anybody can get a chopper, dick. You know what I'm saying?
The beef took an even darker turn when 21 Squad began posting threatening messages, including tombstone emojis over Johnson's pictures. This led to threats and declarations that ATL, 21 Savage's city, and BR, Johnson City, were now no-fly zones zones for each other, meaning if either one pulled up to the other's hood, it was on site. The internet beef was turning into some real street shit.
You know,
That's like the dumbest shit I ever heard, bro. Like, how the fuck y'all niggas from two different cities, y'all both black, young black niggas, bro. Like, y'all don't own nothing in either one of them cities. Y'all don't own the cities. Why is y'all niggas doing all this extra dumb beef and shit? You feel
really
me? Like,
escalated the shit.
why
again,
we can't just get
you hear me?
along in
Because
this
that's when
motherfucker?
one of his homeboys, I don't know who he was, he put the little tombstones over my pictures, whoop the whoop, then no plug. He got a comment, he say something, so I added him. I say pull up. You know, that's when the whole city, you know, what up, pull up, you know what I'm saying?
You said that, what, Baton Rouge is a no-fly zone for them now?
Shit, it is a no-fly zone.
But while the internet beef was heating up, the streets had a different kind of smoke waiting. Before long, Funny Mike wasn't just playing Savage on records. He caught a real body in broad daylight. Amid the rise of the 22 Savage persona and
I
the
ain't know
beef
that.
with 21 Savage, something far more serious occurred. On May 3rd, 2016, MacArthur Johnson was involved in a shooting that left 20-year-old Richard Phillips dead in the parking lot of a Baker Boulevard grocery store in Louisiana.
Damn.
Good afternoon,
I ain't
I'm
know that.
Cheryl Mercedes.
And I'm Greg Merriweather. A fight over a flyer for a birthday party has left one man dead and another charged with his murder.
The killing happened at a Baker convenience store, and this afternoon, Police Chief Mike Knaps announced a total of 3 arrests in this case. But the suspected shooter insists he did nothing wrong.
You didn't fire a gun?
Damn.
Self-defense, self-defense.
So you did fire a gun?
Self-defense.
19-year-old MacArthur Johnson, police say, turned himself in on Wednesday morning after hearing he was wanted in a shooting overnight at the Baker Boulevard grocery store.
According to police reports,
I did not know that. 2016, Buddy Mike was out here popping niggas for real?
the shooting stemmed from a dispute over a birthday party flyer that had occurred 7 weeks earlier. On the night of the shooting,
Over a birthday
Johnson was
party
in a
flyer.
car with Charmaine Wilson when they
That's what I'm talking about, bro. Now, I don't know the whole backstory. You know, I'm not trying to speak on nobody that got popped or whatever, but, bro, it couldn't have been that serious, bro. Like, I'm sure we could have had a conversation that could have de-escalated the situation. You get what I'm saying? Vocab in the chat.
encountered Phillips, who was
Vocab in the
distributing
chat. Big-
flyers
big
in the
words
parking
today.
lot.
We using
Phillips
big
was
words,
passing
nigga.
out party flyers in the parking lot, and he and Funny Mike were arguing over the flyers. After a brief conversation, Phillips and his companion, Walter Williams Jr., slid off at first, but Phillips doubled back and pressed Funny Mike a second time. Mike said Phillips upped a strap on him, so Mike fired first, hitting him dead in the chest, claiming it was self-defense.
Self-defense.
So you did fire a gun.
Defense. Self-defense.
19-year-old MacArthur Johnson,
Damn.
police say, turned himself in on Wednesday morning after hearing he was wanted in a shooting overnight at the Baker Boulevard grocery store. Richard Phillips, known as Rah-Rah, also 19, died after being shot in the chest.
Young
But
niggas,
here's the
man.
thing.
19.
Nobody ever confirmed if Phillips even had a pole on him, and whether it was real self-defense or not is still really shaky. Phillips ended up dying from the shot. Later that day, Funny Mike got booked along with two other dudes that were riding with him. They charged him with second-degree murder, illegal use of a weapon, and obstruction of justice. Mike admitted he squeezed the trigger, but tried to play the self-defense card. Problem is, the cops had video footage, and it didn't match his story. A report said they tried to lie and claim Phillips was strapped, but one of the passengers folded when the feds showed him the surveillance footage, and the footage showed Phillips didn't have no gun.
Damn.
Funny Mike's bond got set at $370,000, but he had the bread and bonded out quick, at least for the moment. In interviews after the shooting, Johnson seemed ice cold about the serious charges hanging over his head.
Now I don't know about nothing about the situation, bro, but you know if a nigga pop somebody, they gonna quickly say that self-defense charge, you know what I'm saying? So they don't get jammed up and shit. So shit, 370? Shit!
When asked how he felt with a murder case pending, he responded, "I don't feel no type of way. I don't think about it, just fuck it." This showed how desensitized he was to the streets. Man was facing decades, but acting like it wasn't nothing but a thing.
What? How I feel?
Yeah, with something like that hanging over your head.
I don't feel no type of way because, you know, if you was in my shoes, you in the situation, you would probably did the same thing, you know, so.
Not about the situation, but about the court case that's coming up or the plea deal that's coming up or whatever is coming up in your future, because one way or another, something's gonna have to happen. So how do you just get by day after day?
I don't know, I don't think about it.
Just fuck it.
Fuck it.
But sometimes in the streets, it ain't about who's right or wrong, it's about what you can prove. And somehow, against all odds, Funny Mike finessed the system and slid out the back door clean. Now you're hearing all these and wondering why he's not in prison right now, despite all the evidence looking mad sketch. Johnson caught the biggest break of his life. In what shocked
Hey, they say Vlad TV the feds, bro. Cause every time a nigga fighting the case, every time a nigga you know what I'm saying, going through some type of murder or whatever, they go right on Vlad and just tell everything. Why do niggas do that, bro? Well, I don't get why niggas be going on Vlad to just incriminate themselves and talk about cases and shit. Like, do y'all not know that's literally his job? Vlad is glad to incriminate your ass and get your ass booked. I don't know why niggas do that shit. Like, bro, niggas are going Vlad and Vlad will ask a nigga straight up like, so what kind of gun did you shoot him with? Like, and niggas will sit there and tell him. I don't understand that shit. Why do niggas do that? Bro, Vlad. I fuck with Vlad, bro. But shit, bro, y'all niggas gotta be smart, bro.
Everybody, a grand jury decided not to indict him on the murder charges.
Is Vlad the police? Like, is he actually the police, bro? Y'all let me know what y'all think, bro.
Decision effectively meant the case wouldn't go to court, and Johnson was free to move forward with his life. He celebrated this outcome on Instagram, writing, "God is good, second chance at life, shout out to my team." Some have speculated about how Johnson managed to avoid indictment despite the evidence, including surveillance footage. But the details of the grand jury proceedings remain private. With the streets watching and the Fed's office,
I know there's a fat ass
Mike
wake up
knew
call.
he couldn't keep living on borrowed time. He had to reinvent himself before the next bullet or courtroom took him out for good. Following his legal troubles and the 22 Savage controversy, Johnson knew he needed to switch up his whole vibe. He eventually shelved the 22 Savage persona and fully embraced his new identity, Funny Mike. This wasn't actually a new wave, but rather a return to his comedic roots. Before the 22nd Savage character, he had already been building a following with comedy content. As 21 Savage explained in interviews, the comedy shit was working, so I guess he just went back to it.
Did you convince him to drop the whole 22 Savage thing?
I think he did that on his own, really.
Just ran his course.
I ain't never asked him to stop. But he DM'd me like back then and apologized though. Like way back then. Not on no pussy shit, like on some man shit. Yeah.
For sure.
He said some shit. He just stopped doing it. But he was a comedian before the 22 shit and it was working for him. The comedy shit was working. So I guess he just went back to it.
In 2016, he created his YouTube channel and began focusing on comedy skits, pranks, and lifestyle content. His authentic personality and humor resonated with audiences, and his channel grew rapidly. Johnson's content evolved over time, becoming more family-friendly.
That nigga is funny though, I ain't gonna lie.
And started a family. He began dating Jalea Monet, whom he met through social media, and the couple now have 2 children, a daughter named London, born in February 2019, and a son named MacArthur Johnson Jr., born in July 2020. Today, Funny Mike has built a straight-up media.
Hey, that little nigga funny, bro. I be watching they streams and shit. That little nigga funny, bro. I ain't gonna lie. That little nigga funny, bro.
His main YouTube channel is pushing over 6 million subscribers, and he runs additional channels including Funny Mike Gaming, Funny Mike Skits, and the MJ Family channel with his girl Jalea, which has over 3 million subscribers by itself. His content now is all about pranks, challenges, and family vlogs, a complete 180 from his days as 22 Savage or his trouble with the law. He's estimated to be worth about 3 M's, all made legitimately.
That's cap. Nigga said 3 M's. Y'all don't know Funny Mike got a fucking Dogecoin chain. That bitch look like a damn boulder on this shit. I ain't gonna lie. So 3 M's gotta be capped. And let Dogecoin run up in this next bull run. Oh shit. We might see some shit. We might see Funny Mike pop out of some crazy shit. Do y'all homework on Dogecoin, bro.
His social media hustle. That's according to Google, but I think he's worth 10 times that, as he's acquired most of his wealth from crypto investments. A coin called Doge is what made him all these millions. Beyond YouTube, Johnson has kept dropping music under his Funny Mike.
A nigga ain't finna get no fat ass Dogecoin chain if he ain't got some real M's in that bitch, bro. He wear that bitch every single day, every video. He forever shilling on Dogecoin, bro. That nigga up for sure.
Persona with tracks like DD3X.
He probably ain't never got to do videos
and
no
Monsters Under My Bed, showing a more lighthearted approach than his 22 Savage days. Johnson has also been giving back to the hood, organizing bike giveaways for kids in Baton Rouge who ain't got much, especially around Christmas time. He's spoken on the importance of putting on
for look at the noggin on that nigga right there.
Who ain't got much, especially around Christmas time. He's spoken.
Look at the noggin on this nigga right here. What in the hell? What in tarnation? And then his blobfish looking ass. What am I looking at right now? What am I looking at?
On the importance of putting on for your city, noting that many children don't get nothing for Christmas because their family can't afford it. A key part of Johnson's story is his connection to another Baton Rouge rapper who blew up, NBA youngboy Kentrell Deshaun Golden. These two came up in the same trenches of Baton Rouge, both trying to make it out by any means. Youngboy has shouted out Funny Mike in his music, with bars suggesting people mistakenly thought Funny Mike was soft when he was really about that life.
All you do is whistle, past prison after central booking. They really thought Funny Mike was pussy. They really thought Funny Mike was pussy.
They probably gonna link up soon.
This co-sign from one of the hottest rappers in the game adds another layer to Johnson's complex story and street credibility. Funny Mike's journey from the trenches of Baton Rouge to YouTube stardom is a story of transformation, second chances, and reinvention, straight up. While his past includes catching a body and controversial beef, he finessed his way into building a successful career as an entertainer. Today, the man once charged with murder creates content that millions of families watch daily. He's a father, entrepreneur, and content creator who's apparently left his troubled past behind. He really beat the system and changed his life around. His story raises mad questions about redemption, the justice system, and how people can switch up their whole lives. It also highlights the unique opportunities that platforms like YouTube provide for renovation and reaching audiences directly without traditional gatekeepers. Love him or hate him, Funny Mike's story shows that no matter how deep in the game you might be, there's always a chance to flip the script and make something positive happen.
Real shit, bro.
From posting up on the corner to superstar content creator, that's the American dream in the digital age. Let us know down below. What do y'all think of Funny Mike's
video
story?
W video, bro. No bullshit. And that's real though. Whatever you going through, bro, this shit ain't permanent, bro. So you always reinvent yourself and, you know what I'm saying, start over and turn over a new identity and all that type of shit. But let me know what y'all think down below, man. We gone, man.